Uh, Let me connect it over there, right there. All right, hit the go live. Refresh here. Divine Rising, everybody. Hope everybody's having an amazing morning. My morning is going great. Been to the gym and worked out the legs. Today was leg day. Worked that out, and I'm a little sore from my upper body. Been to the gym. Arms. So, but here we are on live again. Here it is Wednesday. As they say, winning Wednesday. It's winning day every day. So if you are tuning in with me for the very first time, let me know where you are tuning in from. And we'll get started here in just a moment as I get this shared out. Sometimes I wish I can just share this out way before I even get started. But that's not going to happen. So let me just go down the line here. Why did that catch me like that? Let me exit that. I don't want that. No, let's delete. Oh, well, anyway. Okay, let's post there. Come on. All right. If you are tuning with me, let me know where you are tuning in from. And if you don't know who I am Shakitha, and I am here in the great state of Texas. Originally from Oklahoma. Oh, I had a brain fart there for a minute. Originally from Oklahoma. Let me see. I never share it here, so let me share here. Let's post it. All right. All right, and let me get over here on the gram. I don't know how to do this on the gram, but anyway, either way I go. Oh, I went divine rising to you all. If you are actually reading the description, the title of this live, it is the responsibility of stewardship. The responsibility of stewardship, and what you consistently care for will often determine what continues to grow. And let's get into that description here for just a moment. But after the description, then I will kind of give you information on how you can join me live if you decide to. So leadership isn't only about what you build, it is also about how well you care for what you've already been entrusted with. And inside Quiet Queens Academy, stewardship isn't limited to finances. It includes your time, your energy, relationships, opportunities, gifts, and purposes. right? And your purpose. And this morning, we're exploring how intentional stewardship creates sustainable growth. And today's Quiet Queen's principle: stewardship creates sustainable growth. All right. And if you are, again, tuning in with me, then let me know where you're tuning in from. And, um, and if you happen to see this on the replay and you like, if there's a different time that is like really better for you to catch these lives, let me know in the comments, or if you feel, led to, or in alignment with what's going on, and you want to let me know what would be a good time for you, a good time for me to actually get on live, and so that you can catch the live. Just let me know. Just send me a DM and or message me and let me know what times is better for you all. I'm going to just be probably going forward, probably testing time. So my time right now is 8:30 a.m. in the morning. Because I have, like I said, I got a lot of stuff, that be happening during the day. So in the morning time, so I try to get these live out in the morning. And though we know that the lives is, are going to be there after, the live is over, the replay is still available to you, and it still is just as valuable as if you were on live. So if you want to join me live and you are tuning in, you can actually click the link in the comments, and it says live with me, and you can join me there if you want to hop on live with me. And yeah, so if you want to hop on live with me, you can go ahead and click the link, and I'll get the notification. I'll add you to the live. But in any event, let's go ahead and get into this topic on this morning: the responsibility of stewardship. So, divine rising again to you, Quiet Queens. Over the past week, we've been talking about clarity, identity, alignment, discernment, and healthy boundaries. And that was on yesterday. And those conversations naturally lead us to another question. And what is that? Once you've protected, once you've protected what matters, how do you care for it, right? Because protecting something is only the beginning, and growth requires stewardship, right? Growth requires stewardship. And so let's get into the connection of this on this morning. There was a time, when I believe success came from finding more opportunities, and I had more than I could probably count on both of my hands. Okay. And over time, I realized something different. Sometimes the next level doesn't come from receiving more. Sometimes it comes from caring more intentionally for what you've already been given, right? And so, whether you're whether that's your time, your health, your relationships, your business, or your peace, the way we care for them matters. It truly, truly matters. Okay. And so here's a Quiet Queen's principle: stewardship creates sustainable growth. Growth is rarely sustained by ambition alone, it's sustained through intentional care, right? It is sustained through intentional care. And so we're going to get into the first point of this topic. Is stewardship begins with awareness. It's difficult to care for something you rarely notice. And so awareness allows us to recognize what has already been placed in our hands, right? And so, in my perspective, I've learned to ask myself, am I managing what I already have as intentional as I asking for what's next? So that question reminds me to appreciate today's opportunities instead of consistently looking toward tomorrow, right? Because, like I've always said, our past, our future is actually in our present now, right? So, again, the question reminds me to appreciate today's opportunity instead of consistently looking toward tomorrow. So, appreciate what you got today, right? And so, here's a reflection for you: what in your life deserves more intentional care? And where have you been focused on gaining more instead of stewarding what you are was already present? So, what in your life deserves more intentional care? And where have you been focused on gaining more instead of stewarding what's already present? So, meaning that steward what you already have. Are you stewarding what you already have? And so, once awareness grows, responsibility naturally follows because recognizing value invites us to care for it differently. And so, stewardship protects capacity. And see, everything valuable requires maintenance. You hear me? Everything valuable requires maintenance. And let's think about our vehicles, and I'm gonna get into that. You know, let's think about our vehicles, our houses, anything that's of value, it requires maintenance. And so without intentional care, even meaningful things can slowly become neglected. And as an introvert, I realized that one of the most important things I steward is my capacity. Protecting my energy isn't separate from leadership. It is part of leadership. And when I care for myself well, I'm able to care for others well, just as well as I care for myself, right? And so let me ask you, what's what restores your energy? And are you treating your capacity as something valuable to protect? And as we become better steward of our capacity, what naturally becomes better excuse me, we naturally become better stewards of our purpose because purpose requires consistency. And we hear that a lot, consistency. Consistency, 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 a lot. And so, stewardship reflects gratitude. And one of the quietest expressions of gratitude is caring well for what you've already received. And in my perspective, I discovered that gratitude isn't only something we say, it's something we demonstrate. When I steward my time wisely, I'm about to drop my phone, um, honor my commitments, continue learning, and building with intention, I'm expressing gratitude through my actions. So let me ask you, what responsibility has helped you grow, and how can you demonstrate gratitude through the way you care for your life today? And here's a Quiet Queen's integration. Today's conversation wasn't really about responsibility, it was about stewardship. Stewardship grows from healthy boundaries grow from discernment. Discernment protects alignment, and alignment reflects identity. And identity becomes visible through structure. And each doctrine strengthens the next. Together, they form the Quiet Queen's operating system. And so many people believe I'll take better care of things once I have more. And inside Quiet Queens Academy, we see it differently. What if caring well for what you already have is part of preparing for what's next? Stewardship isn't about perfection, it's about intention. And the habits you practice today often determines the opportunities you prepare to carry tomorrow. And so here's a practical integration. Today, choose one area of your life that you've been overlooking. It could be your calendar, your relationships, your physical space, your health, your business. Ask yourself, what's one intentional act of stewardship I can practice today? Then follow through with it. And so I'll leave you with this question. If your daily choices reveal what you truly value, what are they revealing today? Not to create guilt, but to invite awareness, because awareness creates intentional leadership. And so, in closing, if today's conversation resonated with you, I'd love to hear your perspective. What is one area of your life you're intentionally learning to steward more faithfully? Your answer may encourage another quiet queen to recognize the value of caring well for what she's already been entrusted with. So I want to thank you for spending another morning with me, and I'll see you on tomorrow as we continue building the Quiet Queens operating system one conversation at a time. So, y'all have a divine day.